Hey guys, welcome back to another trophy video. Today we got the trophy with Neobrand in Modern. So if you've been subscribed to the channel, you know we've been jamming Neobrand for a while now. We're always trying to iterate on the stock deck, adding different cards to the flex spots. So let's go over the flex spots for this version, and then we'll talk about the sideboard. So starting with our lands, we've been playing the same lands for a while now. The 3 Surveil lands and Hedge Maze have been clutch, and then the 1 Boseiju just always comes in handy. We have 15 main lands, and then we're running 3 Disciple of Freyalise and 1 Bridgeworks Battle. So originally, everyone was playing 4 Disciple, one deck, one with 2 Bridgeworks and 2 Disciple, so that's kind of been the norm now, but today we're going to try 3 Disciple and 1 Bridgeworks. Disciple is just really good because you can get it with Summoner's Pact, and when it ETBs, you can get some life and draw some cards. Bridgeworks is just really good if you have Griselbrand in play, you can fight another creature, gain that life, and draw more cards. For this version, we're playing a lot of 4 of, so 4 Pact and Negation, 4 Summoner's Pact. Sometimes you'll see 3 Pact and 1 in the sideboard, but today we're jamming all 4. We're also running the set of Consign to Memory, which again, you can run 3 in the main, 1 in the side, or the entire set. And then we have 3 Veil of Summer. So most lists are running 1 to 2 in the main, but I really like 3, just because we're going to run the set in the 75 regardless. So pre-boarding yourself with 3 Veil of Summer has just felt really powerful. Doing that also frees up a sideboard slot because, you know, we're always trying to figure out what goes in the sideboard. We have our usual card selection with Planar Genesis, our evolution effects with Neoform and Eldritch Evolution, our 3 Generous End to go get lands and acts as pitchable green cards, 1 Hooting Mandrills in the main. This is another flex spot where you can run 1 to 3 and then run some in the sideboard, which we're running 2. We have our Xenagos combo with Galta, our 4 Allosaurus Rider, and then we have our fatties to fetch with Atraxa, Ureni, and Griselbrand. There's been a lot of questions about how many Galta to run in your list. Most lists run 2 to 3. If you're drawing Galta a lot, you're probably going to want to run 3, but I've been pretty happy with just 2. Moving on to the sideboard, we have 2 Into the Floodmaw. This is good against creature decks, and it bounces problematic artifacts. We're trying 1 Spell Pierce. So far, it's been amazing. I'm thinking about actually going up to 2. It's just so good. 4 Mystical Disputes for blue decks, Hooting Mandrills, just extra creatures to Neoform or Evolution. Good against control decks. Our 4th Veil of Summer for Hand Disruption and blue decks. 2 Nature's Claim for artifacts and enchantments. Same with Boseiju. And then Hex Drinker is just like an alternate win con when they're trying to disrupt your main plan. You can bring this in against control decks because most decks board out their spot removal. So they're usually going to take out their Fatal Pushes, Paths, anything like that, and then Hex Drinker can just beat in. So that is your 3 Veil of Summer main deck Neobrand combo in Modern. Before we get into the video, I want to talk to you guys about becoming a YouTube channel member. You'll get access to a lot of cool perks like loyalty badges, cool emotes, and early access to videos like this one. Also, we are a Mana Traders content creator, so if you want to save up to 25% on your first subscription, all that information is in the description below. So if you want to see more Neobrand content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's get in the gameplay. Alright, match 1 on the play. Alright, and this hand is interesting. We have Planar Genesis. We have like a little bit of everything. We have the Summoner's Pact and Evolution, so we can try this. We can play Breeding Pool turn 1, cycle Generous End, turn 2, Planar Genesis. Alright, we're just going to shock this in. Guess the turn. This could be holding up Consign to Memory if worst comes to worst, but I can't imagine it does that. Oh no. Just Island go. Like the worst thing ever, right? We're going to cycle. Get a Forest, I guess. I want to cast Planar Genesis. I don't want to play up a Boseiju yet. We draw another Consign to Memory. Kind of wish we were up against Tron at this point. We're up against Grixis Reanimator. They Thought Scour, bidding Thought Scour. We're going to just Genesis at the end of the turn. Like if they Spell Pierce this, who cares? Faithless Looting? There's Looting. So we're going to be looking for a Rider. If we don't find it, we'll just Summoner's Pact for it. We do need a green card though. We're actually really short on green cards. There's an Oculus. Drawing double Consign is pretty terrible for green card wise. And they are holding up blue, but like if they Spell Pierce this, I don't care because it's got to come out anyway. There's the Rider. Take Allosaurus Rider. So we need a green card now. I guess they could Spell Pierce the there's another Summoner's Pact. They could Spell Pierce the Evolution. It's a 1 of, so like if they have it, then good for them, I guess. Do they have it? They don't have it. Cool. Play Griselbrand. Put in Griselbrand. Draw 7, and they concede. Sweet. So we are up against Grixis Reanimator. We have 0 graveyard cards, but we do have Veil. We have Spell Pierce, Into the Floodmaw, Dispute for blue cards, but they're mostly black-based. It's tough because they have Thought Scour, Spell Pierce, their own disputes. They shouldn't have any way of stopping the Xenagos combo, though. So let's say we want these 4. Take out an Evolution, Consign, Pact, Genesis. They're a pretty fast combo deck, potentially. Take out Ureni. Actually, let's keep the Consign because they do have a lot of triggers. Alright, we have 2 lands, Allosaurus, Evolution. Not the most exciting. No Veils. So if they Thoughtseize us, it's going to be a little unfortunate. There's Thoughtseize. Easy Allosaurus Rider. And that's what they take. We draw Neoform. Kind of funny. We had the turn 2, potentially. Another Thoughtseize. I guess maybe that's one reason to play the battle, but like if they're taking that, then I don't care. They're gonna take Neoform now. But we do have the evolutions, so we'll see. A lot of redundancy. They take Into the Flood Maw, okay. Into Fetchland, Shotgun Steam Vents, into Looting. They must have Archon Persist or Oculus or something. There's Oculus. Wow, they still have Fatal Push in play. That's crazy they didn't board out the Fatal Pushes. That hits like absolutely nothing. Hedge Maze, Surveil, back the Negation to the graveyard. And we draw the Summoner's Pact. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're gonna draw a bunch of cards here. Allosaurus Rider, pitch here and here. Neoform here. Hit Griselbrand, draw 7 cards. Get an Allosaurus Rider, pitching here and here. I'm gonna save Ent just for a land, and then we'll just pass. We'll see if they have the Unearth for Oculus. If they do, we might just pact it. Like, no reason not to, right? And then if they Thoughtseize us, we have double consign. 8, 9, 10, 11. Cycle 4. Well, we can't cycle unless we naturally draw a land, because we have to pay for the double pact if we do that. 2 mana. They cycle Unearth. Interesting. And then just no plays. So maybe they're hoping we don't have the consign. So we're going to consign this trigger. Opponent says GG's, and we get there. All right, match 2 on the draw, and we're going to keep this hand. We have 2 lands, Neoform, Summoner's Pact, Protection, some Dig. We have the natural Xenagos, so maybe we can do something cool there, but this looks like a Thoughtseize. Ugh, Inquisition. So far, we're 2 for 2 against black decks. We don't want to see any hand disruption, no counterspells, no interaction at all. Assuming they take the Neoform, and they do take the Neoform, checks out. Eldritch Evolution, close Neoform, Pact to the graveyard. So next turn, if we don't draw a land, we're just going to bolt this in and then Planar Genesis. Ooh, Abzan. Interesting. Galta. Terrible draw. Bolt that in. And the reason I like doing this at the end of the turn is if they Thoughtseize us or do something. Oh, it's Philia. Okay. So I guess we're just hoping they don't have an Overlord. Yeah, this was definitely the worst draw possible. All right, no plays before Philia attacks. That's good. We want them to tap out. Inquisition. So we're going to Planar Genesis in response. Damn, we find the Allosaurus Rider. They're going to take the Evolution. We could take the Evolution. Then we don't have the land. But then we can Pact. So if we take Allosaurus Rider, they take the Evolution. If we take Evolution, they take Pact. I think we just still take Allosaurus Rider here. All right. So they 100% take the Evolution. And they play a tap land. We draw the Island. At least it's a land. Play that. We had the win multiple times, but they just had the answer. Inquisition. At least they don't have any pressure. Tarmogoyf. There's a little bit more pressure. They blink the Tarmogoyf. So this is like pure Abzan. Not sure what the plans could be. Consign to memory. Might just lose to just drawing nothing, getting hand disruptioned out. Attack for 5. Down to 8. And they still do nothing. Flooded Strand. So what sucks is that they probably have removal. 3, 4, 5. We're going to go to 3. I think we just have to play Allosaurus Rider out. Hold up Pact the Negation if they try to kill this. I mean, they could blink it. I guess we'll just consign this. Block here. All right, Philia dies. We go to 6. They still do nothing. It sucks they're not doing anything, but we also aren't. Oh, there's an Evolution. I mean, I guess we'll take that. Cast Evolution. Put Galta into play. Trigger. Put Xenagos into play. Move to combat. Trigger Xenagos. Tell me we win after all of that. We even have the Pact the Negation for protection. Wow. Cannot believe we won that. Double Inquisition, Philia, Tarmogoyf, but then they just did nothing. So they gave us some time, which was good, but somehow we got there. All right, so against Abzan, we want the Veil of Summer. Definitely want the Flood Malls. We don't really know what their deck is, so sideboarding is going to be a little more difficult. Probably like a Pact out. We want all of this. Veil, Flood Mall. Consign's actually really good against Philia triggers, and if they do have Overlords. We don't know if they have Edict effects. Ireni should be fine, but it's like we're never getting that. I don't know. I'm just going to shave one of each of these and try that. All right, game 2, and this is a no-lander, so we're going to have to mulligan. This is a 1-lander, and it has Galta and Attracts in hand. It has the Allosaurus Rider. Against the Thoughtseize Inquisition deck, I am going to keep, and I'm going to put back Galta. I'm going to put back Galta because I want Galta to fetch to put Attracts into play. We're never really putting Attracts into play with Allosaurus Rider unless we evolution it, so this is a 1-lander. We're not going to go to 5. We're going to Surveil turn 1, looking for more lands. And we have the Allosaurus Rider. If we get to untap with Veil of Summer, that'd be really good. All right, they go Marsh Flats, most likely Hand Disruption. Oh, Temple Garden. Is this like a mana dork? Just fetching a Temple Garden tapped. Interesting. We draw a Planar Genesis. Come on, land. Oh, Allosaurus Rider. Sadly, we have to put that into the bin. I say that just because if they do try to take something from us, we would like to have duplicates. But we are going to get to untap with Veil of Summer. They do keep a card on top, and we draw land. Sick. So if they do nothing, we're going to Planar Genesis. If they try to Thoughtseize us, we'll just Veil it and then Surveil. Inquisition. We're going to Veil it just because they could just take Veil. So it's a nice cycler. Could have maybe Surveilled and then did that. All right, they're going to fetch a land with Roost Seek. They get a forest. Play the forest. And we're going to get another Surveil land. Windswept Heath. Do we need another land? For Hooting Mandrills, Double Planar Genesis. I'm going to say no. We're just looking for a Neoform, honestly. Of course, we draw the 3 mana. Okay, well, I guess we're going to Planar Genesis looking for a land now. Or a Neoform. Consign, Evolution. We'll just take the Hedge Maze. Battleworks. We'll graveyard that. So now we really have to dodge Hand Disruption, because they can just take Allosaurus Rider or Evolution. We do have Mandrills for the Evolution also. A lot of redundancy. Name of the game. 3 mana. Ooh, Boromir. Oh no. Boromir counters Allosaurus Rider. That's actually really funny. I haven't seen this card in a bit. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Okay, well, and we draw into the Flood Maul. Pretty nice. So this is going to bounce this end of next turn. We could also just bounce it now and play Allosaurus Rider. I don't know what kill spells they have. That's the issue. If they go to kill this, but then they could also Thoughtseize it, but they would have done that. That's just Planar Genesis. Oh, we find Veil. Let's take Veil. And then we'll pass. We'll just look to Flood Maul this at the end of the turn and then pop off. All right, they get in with Boromir, and they do nothing else. Bounce Boromir. They're definitely holding up interaction. They have 6 cards in hand, and they're just passing the turn. They cast Ephemerate. Wow, okay. We're not going to pack that. It's just kind of unfortunate. Another Planar Genesis. I mean, I guess we'll just cast Hooting Mandrills and pass the turn. So we have a blocker. We have Planar Genesis, end of turn. We have Veil of Summer if they do something goofy. Eladamri's Call. What is that going to get? They get Containment Priest. Interesting. Okay. Rebound. Windswept Heath. No attacks. Gonna cast Planar Genesis. Find Summoner's Pact. I'm gonna say no here. I'm gonna take Consign to Memory. Because I think we're still gonna go for it. Assuming that we can just pack the Containment Priest. Ah, there's a Ureni. So we are just gonna get a Galta here. Chaos Eldritch Evolution. They should flash in Containment Priest. We're gonna pack the Negation it, assuming they don't have something else. Oh no, we can't because of Boromir. Ah, crap. Okay, never mind. All right, let's run it back. I stepped away for a little bit, and when I came back, my brain was fried. So let's try this again. This hand kind of sucks, but we're going to keep, just because they do have a lot of hand disruption. We have Surveil. We have at least 2 lands. Planar Genesis to get stuff. Double Evolution. But yeah, I was thinking we could just pack and be fine, but I totally forgot that Boromir was stopping everything from our deck. All right, they fetch Marsh Flats. Shock and Overgrown Tomb for Inquisition. Yep. Our hand's pretty Inquisition-proof. If they take the Planar Genesis, which I feel like they have to. They take an Eldritch Evolution. Leads me to believe they have another hand disruption spell. We'll put Genesis in the graveyard, draw an island, and just pass. Yep, there's the other one. They take the other Evolution. We'll play the other Genesis. We find Neoform, so we'll take that. Looking to draw Allosaurus Rider or something. No, Galta. Alright, we can play this tapped. We have enough green cards, but now we're just not going to play anything else until we draw a creature or something. They surveil Severance Priest. I feel like that's a good one, so they must be looking for land 3. Tarmogoyf. Yep, and that's what they're doing. Oh my god, and we draw it. How perfect. So we'll cast Allosaurus Rider, Neoform Allosaurus Rider, get Griselbrand, draw 7. We draw 7, put these into play, just put all the Allosaurus Rider in play. We'll hold up Consign, hold up Veil of Summer. They cast Eladamri's Call, most likely looking for a Solitude here. They do get the Solitude, but they're going to be really sad when we consign that. Alright, they cast Solitude. We're going to consign this trigger, and they scoop. Match 3 on the play. This is a tough keep. So we have Griselbrand and Atraxa in hand. We have the Allosaurus Rider. We don't have an evolution effect. We could get Galta and put in both of these, but having Griselbrand and Atraxa in hand is kind of awkward. I'm going to throw this back just because we're only relying on the Galta plan. Obviously, if we do draw the Neoform and they have no disruption, it's pretty sick. I mean, we do have the Veil of Summer. We have Surveil lands, but we have no way of digging for it, though. I'm going to mulligan this one. I think it's close. We will keep this one and put back 1 Consign to Memory. We have the Surveil land here. We have Planar Genesis. But yeah, the other one would be a very all-in plan, which I'm always down for, but we'll try to be a little bit more conservative. Flooded Strand. Get a Hedge Maze. Evolution. That's tough. We do want that, but we need lands. We draw a Consign to Memory. All right, well, you're never going to 5 with this hand because you have the Allosaurus and you have the Dig. So if you find your second land, you're pretty set. Meticulous Archive. So this is probably going to be Reanimator, I would guess. We do have the Pact with Consign if we need it. Oh, it's just Jeskai Energy. So this matchup's pretty terrible. We do draw the Misty. This is a counterspell deck. Just a lot of good tempo they have. This is charts. Consult with the star charts. We'll let that go, and then we're just gonna Planar Genesis. I mean, if they have a force, then I'm fine with them forcing this. I would love for them to force this. They shouldn't, though. Yeah. Summoner's Pact, Planar Genesis. Wow, we brick hard. Say no. What do we want to take? Just another Pact negation? Because if we go for it, we're gonna have to like really go for it. Planar Genesis is good if we want to keep digging. That's another consideration. I'll go Planar Genesis. I think that's the more conservative. Double Pact the Negation's good if we are planning on going off, like maybe next turn. See if they Flage us here. Alright, still nothing. Disciple. Play this tapped, and we'll pass. Also with Planar Genesis, if we do find what we need more green cards, because we kind of too many non-green cards here. They Surveil. Arena of Glory. So they're not doing anything, they're just holding up interaction. We're just going to keep casting Planar Genesis. We do find Veil of Summer. That's pretty good. Say okay for that. Find a Hedge Maze. We'll Surveil. Another Allosaurus. We'll bin that. Kind of tells what we're looking for, though. Again, we need more green cards, so that's maybe one reason to just keep it as a green card, but we do want the evolution effect. End step Dressdown. So this means they probably have a Null Drifter or a Flage here. They shock in Sacred Foundry. There's the Null Drifter. Could consign this trigger. Planar Genesis. We do find the Neoform. Wow, we find 3 fatties and a Neoform, so we'll take that. Do we want to consign this trigger? I think we do. I'm going to consign it, just because it'll stop them from drawing more forces. We're assuming they have a counterspell. We beat counterspell. I guess we need green cards, though. We find Galta. Okay. So unfortunately, we have to pitch the Veil. Yeah, it sucks drawing all of this. Alright, we're going to just go for it here. I don't think we're going to get in a better spot by waiting, especially because they have this in play. So they should let this resolve, and then when we go to Neoform, we just gotta hope they don't have Force and Counterspell. They flash in Dressdown. That's fine. We're still gonna get Griselbrand, and we don't have to draw like right now. I'm assuming they have Solitude? No Solitude. So this still won't do anything. So yeah, they cast Solitude before this left the battlefield, so Solitude didn't actually get down. I wonder if they just wanted it down because, or they messed that up. I'm not sure. So on their turn, they play Flooded Strand. They have this. They can attack with Null Drifter, but it just dies. We sacrifice this. Let's see what they do here. They do get in with Null Drifter. Sacrifice a land. Go up to 24. They can't Flage us. They'd have to like double Flage us. Flage. Sure. Let's draw 7 here. Kind of curious. There's going to be 1 damage on it. I'm assuming they have Discharge. All right, we'll let that go. And then here's Discharge. So if we packed this one, I think we packed this. See if they have like another counterspell or something as their last card. They only have 1 card in hand. All right, and they concede. So yeah, we pack this. We pay for it. We attack. We just cast a bunch of stuff and just win that way. All right, so this should be a really tough matchup in theory. We just got to decide if we want to be on like the hardcore anti-control plan or what. I feel like we won't need to because they're not like base blue. So we definitely want the disputes. The majority of their spells are blue. Take out Urani. Take out some Evolution, Summoner's Pact. Definitely want Spell Pierce. Take out Xenagos for Veil and try that. They do have Solitude, so Xenagos gets a lot worse. All right, game 2, and this hand is pretty terrible. We're going to mulligan. This hand is not much better, but again, we're not going to go to 5. It's good enough. Put back Griselbrand. We have the Evolution effect. We have lands. Plenty of lands. We do have a Galt in hand, which isn't the greatest either. And we draw another land. So we're going to look to Surveil, looking for Allosaurus or Summoner's Pact. We also have no disputes, no protection. So hopefully they just kind of do nothing like last game. They shock that in. They might just like kind of have the pseudo combo, which is end of turn Dressdown into something good. Edge Maze. Wow, we find the Neoform, but it's not what we need right now. And another land. We've drawn 2 lands. Definitely not how we're going to win. We're going to keep this Generous End as a green card. Wow, they didn't Dressdown either. I guess they were just holding up Counterspell. Clarion Conqueror. Okay, so that's going to stop Griselbrand. Another land to the graveyard. Planar Genesis. Let's main phase that. If they have a force, we make them use it. We find a dispute and the other Planar Genesis. Say no. I think we just take the Genesis. Play this tapped and pass. I guess we have enough green cards where we can cycle Generous End. But they tapped out, like, no big deal. They cycle Lorien. This is probably going to be an Atraxa game, I guess. We'll see. But they have Solitude. We definitely need to find something. All right, they Surgical Neoform. Was not expecting the Surgical. -1 card for them. Draw Pact the Negation. We'll cycle Generous End. Go get another Hedge Maze. Looking for Allosaurus or Pact. Do not find it. Pass the turn. Another land. They get him for 3. And they just pass. They could have Hardcast Solitude. They could have Counterspells. We need a lot here. Wow, they dispute that. Okay. It's 1 Counterspell down. Oh, now we draw a second Galta. Oy. Alright, we're going to play this tapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can cast Disciple next turn. Doesn't do much. Pretty poor draws. We drew all lands and then just Galta. They Surveil. Trying to think if we want to do anything different with our sideboard. Probably Flood Maul for Clarion. And also just a good tempo card against them if they're going to dress down like Null Drifter. They do get the ETBs, or the cast triggers. Maybe we want the evolutions, knowing that they have Surgical. Just another land. Alright, we're going to cast Disciple. We don't get the ETB, unfortunately. We do have evolution on this. We'll see what we draw. They get in for 3, put us to 5, and then just pass. Oh, we draw a Griselbrand, okay. Just really, really, really bad draws. It's fine. We're going to roll with it. Cast Eldritch Evolution. We're going to pack the first counterspell. Is this Hardcast Force? We're going to pack this one. We can also pay for Dispute. Doorkeeper Thrall. Okay, well that also sucks, because that shuts off Atraxa. We're still going to get it, but it's less good. Especially if they have Solitude. They've had a really good hand. This is like the hand that we, want. This shuts off Griselbrand, shuts off Atraxa, Counterspell, Surgical. Do they have the Solitude also? That'd be like insult to injury there. They can't have everything though, right? Gotta be something they're missing. This also shuts off Solitude, so they might want this to die, and then they can Solitude this. No attacks. We have to pay for the Pact. We draw another land. 3. I guess we have to get in. Like again, they could sack here and then Solitude this. Kind of looks like what they're doing. You could just like wait and, I don't know, bide your time there. Alright, looks like they do have the Solitude. So if you just do nothing, when they attack, you let that go, and then you attack on your turn. That's like a play. Like we talked about it, I don't know. They have to have the Solitude there. So it's like, you got to get in, get some pressure going. You can maybe make your land drops for Galta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm not sure. We're up to 18, taking 6 a turn. Need to draw one more land for all this. If we get to put Galta into play, then we can put Griselbrand into play also. Another Clarion Conqueror. Does this resolve? Hardcast Galta. Dressdown? Okay. So it's just a 12-12. It stops the Solitude at least. So next turn we can get in for 12, and then Galta number 2, put Griselbrand into play. They've had very timely cards here with the Dressdown and everything like that. Down to 6. There's a Dispute. Let's attack first. We are going to have to tap out again, but they have so much mana, it's not going to matter. Galta number 2. Come on, no counterspell. Keep this. Trigger. Do they have a Consign? No, come on. Alright, they just kind of had it all there. That's unfortunate. Alright, so Flood Maul could be good. I think we want at least one more evolution back. That's so sad. Veil is good against Dispute and Counterspell and Force, but less so against the Dressdowns. We were just really hoping they didn't have everything. I know it's weird, but we're going to take out one Galta. I kind of want both Flood Mauls. Spell Pierce is obviously really good. Maybe just one Flood Maul, and we'll take out maybe like one Pact and try that. We also did mulligan to 5 that game, and that was generally close. I think we can try this. It's a 1-lander, but we have Generous Ant into the Flood Maul Pact. We're just missing the Rider effect, or the Evolution effect. It's a very defensive hand. We haven't kept like an amazing 7 yet, I don't think. Or in a 7 that's had everything. Alright, we're gonna keep Evolution. So we're literally just gonna cycle, surveil for our cycle. Hedge Maze, Surveil. They're gonna Surveil too. I don't know why they're surveilling in response to us doing it. They keep it on top. Spell Pierce. I like Spell Pierce, actually. Just any cheap interaction I think is the best. We do have the double packs. I think it's fine. So we're going to Forest Cycle. Just get a Hedge Maze, because we can leave up Flood Maul and Spell Pierce. I'll take another land, I think. Okay, that's fine. We need a green card. We actually... Oh, actually, I'm missing that. We need a lot of green cards. I was too focused on protection. So this should get a Thundering Falls. So now we actually can't play this land. Is this going to be a Dressdown? Doorkeeper Thrall. That's fine. If they go Flage here, we're going to just bounce the Thrall. So we can't go off for 2 more turns. Clarion Conqueror. Just all the hate. All the ETB hate. Griselbrand hate. Pretty annoying. Alright, so we're going to keep this, and we're just going to pass. And we just need a green card now. Alright, they attack with both. What's tough too is even if we get the green card, we're going to have to bounce this and still take like an extra turn. Dispute. Ugh. Alright, now we're flooding on non-green. Yeah, this isn't looking good. Now I kind of wish I put the Spell Pierce into the graveyard. Only attacking for 4 turn. It's not the worst, but we gotta discard something. Yeah, I guess we discard Spell Pierce. That feels bad. They attack for 4. Spell Pierce doesn't help against Solitude either, but they have this over here. There's Neoform. Okay. So this is good because now we can go off and hold up Dispute and just like everything else. We can also bounce this if we want. So let's pitch here and here. Cast Neoform. So they should have a lot of interaction here. They should have disputes. They should have counterspells. There's a dispute. So now we have to decide if we want to dispute that, make them pay, and then pact it. I think I like that because that taps them out. Actually, they don't really care because this covers the ETBs and this covers Griselbrand. But if we pact and then we don't get to draw with Griselbrand, then we're kind of screwed. We can only draw with Griselbrand once also. I think we have to risk it. I'm just going to pact first. All right, they let that go. They fetch. They get an island. Do they have Hardcast Force here? They do. Cast Dispute. All right, this worked out really well. We just need to draw a Consign to Memory. Griselbrand. So Solitude's shut off. We can bounce Clarion. I guess if they counter the Flood Maw, then we have to pact that. And then we have to draw another Consign. We need a lot here. It just sucks they've had both of their like anti-Neoform cards both games. Flage. No attacks. So we're gonna Clarion. Please don't have Dressdown. Alright, they don't. We can draw 7. We find it. So I think we just consign... I think we just pay 1. So we have Allosaurus Rider. They have a Flage active. We don't have any lands. We do have Veils. We can play Allosaurus. Let's attack. See if they want to block here and like Solitude something, but we have the consign. Alright, that's what they do. We're going to Allosaurus pitching here and here. So this at least blocks the Flage. No land sucks. We would have loved to hit a land drop. So see if they want to untap and hardcast Solitude. They might haste something. This is just Null Drifter. Another Clarion. So we could draw 7. Man, they keep drawing the Clarions. I'm going to draw 7 here. Flage can put us down to 2. If they do have the second Flage, they can Flage us and then Flage here, but then we can just consign that trigger. Alright, that happens. We'll see if they have the second Flage. Alright, deal 3 to us. We'll chump down to 2. Do they have it? Kind of wish I drew last turn to hit my land drop, but I wasn't sure kind of what to play around. But maybe we were safe anyway because we had the Pact the Negation and Consign. We have no Allosaurus Riders either. Yep. Man, we're calling it. Alright, so we'll let that go. And then we'll just counter the trigger. Alright, we'll consign the one trigger. Kind of weird they let the other one go, but they want like the ETB and everything with the arena. Draw Planar Genesis. Play Forest. Attack for 8. Kind of sucks. We haven't drawn any Allosaurus Rider other than the one. Oh no, okay, so we've drawn 2 Allosaurus Rider. We could Griselbrand. We can just pact that one, but we also don't have Consign. We've used 2 Consigns. The Veils aren't doing much. Start with the Planar Genesis. We find the Consign to Memory, so that's fine. Say no. Take that. So I feel a little bit better about all of this. So let's cast Summoner's Pact. Get an Allosaurus Rider. You could get Hooting Mandrills also, but this makes it so that way it's free. And then we'll pass, discard a land. So we know they have Hasty Flage coming. We'll see if they tap for it. If they do, we're just going to pact it though, because this is going to use up all their mana. All right, that's what they're doing. And we also have Veils and everything to counter everything. All right, there's the Flage. We're just going to pack this. I'm kind of hoping they counterspell this. Hardcast Dispute, or Hardcast Force. Lovely. Perfect. Cast Veil, and we win. Match 4 on the draw. We're going to keep this hand. We have Allosaurus Rider, Protection, some Dig to find some evolution effects, green cards, pretty solid all around. Ancient Stirrings. I wonder if this is Broodscale. I haven't seen Broodscale in a bit. Sowing Mycospawn. So we're going to Surveil with this Misty. If we can go off turn 2, we're going to go off turn 2. Another Misty. Most likely a turn 3 game. Ugin's Lab, Emrakul. Could be Ramp also. We have no Consign to Memory, unfortunately. Explore. Love that. Another Ugin's Lab. Another Emrakul. So they have access to 5 mana, 6 mana next turn. Jesus. They have 2 cards in hand. Hedge Maze. Hopefully this isn't like Warping Whale or something. That'd be insane. Oh my god, we draw it. Alright, well we're going to pop off and we have Pact for the Warping Whale if they have it. We'll cast Allosaurus pitching here and we can actually just go for the win. Blue, cast Neoform, go get Galta, trigger on the stack, cast Summoner's Pact, go get Xenagos, put Xenagos into play, move to combat, trigger, attack for 26, and we win. Nice little turn 2 there. Alright, so we're up against Eldrazi Ramp, pretty sure. The Explorers kind of threw me off, but I think a list runs maybe like 1 or 2. Veil is obviously awful here. We can bring in the Boseiju, maybe into the Flood Maw. They are going to have artifacts. They might bring in like Vexing Bauble or just the Mana Rocks. Kind of like 1/1 here maybe. Your Any can come out for another Flood Maw. I'll try that. Alright, game 2, and we have the Consign, the Allosaurus Rider, but we have no lands and we have all of this, so we're going to mulligan. I got so excited when I saw this, but we have no lands again. Gonna go to 5. Okay, we have the Consign, we have the Neoform, we have lands. We have to put back 2 things, so it's most likely going to be a land and Pact. Put back these 2. Tapped Sunken Citadel. Interesting. Oh my god, we draw the Allosaurus Rider. Okay, so now we just need green cards. We have Consign for protection. If we draw a green card, if we surveil a green card to the top, we win. Oh, it's, interesting. They, like, switch decks. Ugin, like, mono black ramp, Eldrazi, something? Alright, so green card, and we should be pretty set. Hedge Maze, land to the yard. Alright, come on, green card. Alright, I guess we're gonna shock this in and pass, assuming that we're gonna Planar Genesis. If we have to, we'll consign. Hopefully they don't do anything, and okay, Ancient Stirrings is fine. I guess you know what? I just realized if we cast Planar Genesis, we're just cycling green cards, so that's kind of silly. So we should have just surveilled here. Explore. Yeah, that was a mistake. I mean, I guess we're still gonna cast it though. We're gonna find a green card. Summoner's Pact. Say no. I guess it's kind of like stupid because we're just taking a green card. I don't know. Like we're just cycling the green cards and hope, okay, we draw another one. Yeah, like we should have just surveilled here looking for a green card instead of that, but it's fine. So we have the consign up. So we can play the land, cast, pitching, here, and here. Green, blue, cast Neoform. And we could have kept the pact if we drew another green card and won on the spot. Alright, and they just concede anyway. But yeah, that was a different line you could have taken. Alright, welcome to the trophy match on the play. And we have Allosaurus Rider. We're missing the evolution effect. We have double consign in memory, no green cards to pitch. I'm going to throw this back. Alright, this has Neoform and Evolution and Galta. Put back the Forest, I think? Or Galta. We'll put back Galta. That's a green card, but we'll surveil turn 1. Just looking for Allosaurus Rider or Summoner's Pact. Start with Misty, pass. Mountain, Swift Spear. Oh, this is one of the tougher matchups. They get him for 1. We're going to surveil. Hedge Maze. There's the Rider. Wow. Did I say it was one of the tougher matchups? I take that back. Go Forest, Allosaurus, pitching here and here. Cast Neoform. Go get Griselbrand. Draw 7. Allosaurus, pitch here. Now we'll pitch here and here. And then we'll pass. We have double pact if we need it. Can't imagine they do 11 getting through this. They're still playing. They shock into Steam Vents. They suspend a Slick Shot. And then they pass. Draw Summoner's Pact. There was a way... So there's a couple plays we can make. We could draw 7 here, looking for an evolution effect for Allosaurus Rider, and then we could just win on the spot with Summoner's Pact. Let's do it. Draw 7. Alright, we find Neoform, so we can just cast Neoform, get Galta, trigger, put in 1, 2, 3, 4. If we wanted to, we could Summoner's Pact for Atraxa also, but that's just like overkill. 1, 2, kill Swift Spear, and they scoop. That was a sick turn 3. Alright, so we are up against Prowess, which is a pretty tough matchup. They just kind of kill you really quickly. It's obviously a race, so we want the Flood Mauls. Spell Pierce is pretty solid. They're definitely going to be bringing in more counter magic, which is why I think I want the Spell Pierce, even though it doesn't hit the creatures, but it'll hit the pump spells and the cantrips. I think Veil isn't as good. Bring in these 3. Veil stops exactly like Spell Pierce. We'll try like this. Do we want any disputes? They have Preordain, they have Expressive Iteration, and maybe some counterspells from the board. I'm going to say no for now. We'll see about game 3. Alright, game 2, and we're going to keep this. We have Misty, Disciple, Summoner's Pact for Allosaurus, Neoform. We have no counterspell protection, though. That's the only downside. They lead off on a Preordain. So we're going to have to draw a Consign to get this Pact trigger taken care of. They top. That's terrifying. Hedge Maze. Let's lead off on that. Forest to the graveyard. Again, maybe they just tap out here. That would be the most ideal. Mountain. Quarry Steelcutter. Into Bauble. They get him for 2. We're going to have 15 looks at a Consign. Plus Planar Genesis, maybe. Another Hedge Maze. Alright, let's go Misty. We're going to try to conserve life, so we're just going to get a basic here. Get an Island. Cast Summoner's Pact. Get Allosaurus Rider. Allosaurus pitching here and here. We could have pitched Disciple, maybe. Unfortunately, we didn't have double Summoner's Pact to just win on the spot. Cast Neoform, hit Griselbrand, draw 7. We do find the Consign and the Pact and Negation, that's good. We'll pitch here. Actually, let's pitch the Planar Genesis and Disciple. Now we'll pass. So we have Pact, just in case. We have Consign for the Pact of Negation and the Summoner's Pact. No plays. Summoner's Pact. We're going to overpay here just in case they have something. Because we don't have... we do have double blue. We're going to play it safe, though. Like, you could Consign once, make them do something, and then Spell Pierce it or Pact it. But this is also fine. And we get the trophy. Alright, so we got the 5-0 with Neobrand and Modern. Those first 3 matches felt really tough, but the last 2 were definitely freebies. So this general list has become pretty stock overall, but I really liked our take on it. Having 4 ofs of mostly everything, going up to 3 Veil of Summer in the main, I really liked having the 3 Veil in the main. It's just such a nice feeling of protection. 4 Consign, Pact the Negation, Summoner's Pact all felt great. As for the split of Bridgeworks Battle and Disciple of Freyalise, again, you can go 4-0, you can go 2-2. Today we went 3-1, and I thought it was fine. And then for the sideboard, having a little bit of everything, I really enjoyed this setup. The one of Spell Pierce felt amazing. I almost want to go up to 2. The Hex Drinker, unfortunately, we didn't get to do too much with it, but I liked having it as an option. Overall, Neoform continues to be a really strong deck in Modern, so we're going to keep jamming it. But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching this trophy video. If you want to see more Modern content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.